Studio Pirate did it. Pirate Pie.
Pyro.
Pyro.
It's pronounced Pyro.
Okay. They did Tokyo Ghoul, Naruto, Bleach.
They
Great.
did part of Legend of Korra. I remember that.
Oh man.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Anime Summit Podcast. We're back. We're back this week. Thank you so much for being here every week. We are here to bring you the latest anime goodness. Because where else are you getting your good anime goodness? From what other podcasts? Who else are you listening to? I want names right now. Because me and Nick are going to go over there. We're going to fuck some shit up. That's what we're going to do.
We're going to slap our balls.
We're going to rub our balls on their drum set.
That was that sound right there. Yeah, on the drum set. Did you know that Will Ferrell owns that fake pair of balls now?
That's hilarious.
They paid like, I don't know, it was like 5 figures to create prosthetic balls. Cool little fact right there.
I'm Sam the Bomb. And with me is Danny the Fanny.
Butts.
And Too Slick Nick.
Balls.
Now I should have said something. Now I don't. Dicks. There we go. Damn. Leave me out, guys. Anyway.
None of which are allowed on Tumblr anymore.
Oh yeah, Tumblr banned porno.
Not that I've ever used Tumblr, but you know, whatever.
I think I have one. I don't know. But anyway.
The only thing that bothered me about it, real quick, was that like you couldn't view the porn unless you had the app and an account. I couldn't just click on an image.
You had to have
so
an
stupid.
account anyway, and then you had to like put in your, all your info.
Yeah, you couldn't like view anything.
It's not like it's
it
just
was
out
dumb.
there like RedTube. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah, but like Imager, you don't have to have an account. You can just click on an image. Tumblr should be the same way, in my opinion. But you know, what do I know?
Yeah, Tumblr's lame anyway.
Anyway, not that I care. It's all about the Instaface and the Snapface nowadays.
But real quick though, like there's some other shit that happened that like we should be doing in our news thing that we're gonna be starting soon.
So we're doing a separate one for that, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably start doing that this week just because I want to start doing it because we've so much good news is passing by. But this is worth mentioning in this episode right now, just because it just is. Netflix is kind of trying to get it right now. Like Evangelion coming to Netflix, but they're like redubbing it.
The Evangelion TV series and the movie
TV
End of
series.
Evangelion, not the rebuilds, are coming to Netflix.
The Neon Genesis Evangelion and the End of Evangelion movie, yeah. But they're redubbing it.
Yeah.
Right?
So wait, are we just gonna have this news in this episode then, or what?
Well, you got it on the notes here, so I just thought
Oh shit!
it's worth mentioning.
You guys said
right?
you want to do it. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be fucking. It might be sick, or it might be a fucking disaster. Because a lot of people said the dub is overrated, blah blah blah. ADV, I think ADV did it. You know,
ADV did
it.
do
Was
it, yes.
It's an iconic dub, the original Ava dub, and you know what?
Grant, Spike Spencer, yeah.
Maybe it started a little bit shaky at first. I personally didn't notice any of that, but. And of course the random black guy in the movie, but like, dude, it's a great dub. I don't know if I'll be able to hear it any other way. So they could easily mess this up, Netflix.
I feel that.
I just don't want them. Like Spike Spencer is Shinji. Like he's typecast by now.
Right.
Who else is gonna voice him? Like seriously, you better not get like fucking John Young Bosch or something. Like I don't know. I mean, he's a good actor. Look. Nothing against these voice actors. They're just making a paycheck.
They're finna do Vic McNana.
But I am going to fucking have some harsh words and tweets for Netflix if they fuck this up. Also, if they fuck up the music rights. If they don't get the correct soundtrack for Evangelion, I will fucking tweet at them.
Fucking that episode of Family Guy is like, you know what, Brian? You got a problem? Go on the internet and complain.
No, but like this is actually a really real danger that they won't get all the rights to like the music and everything. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. This is kind of a rumor.
The music.
That's going to be a fucking tragedy if that happens.
If you fuck up the music, you're taking away a lot of integrity away from the show and how it's presented. Like, it's... Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, dude, one of the GOATs, in my opinion, the number one GOAT anime, Evangelion.
Agree. But they're also now... Then they also announced, like, literally, like... It was funny because somebody tweeted, oh, but y'all not going to put Cowboy Bebop on. And then Netflix retweeted that and said, oh, dear, ... And then literally a day later, they announced a live-action adaptation of Cowboy Bebop as a Netflix show. Yeah.
So that's also kind of scary, too. It could be great or it could be fucking Death Note level.
I'm
whatever.
not going to say anything.
We'll always have the original either way. I'm really only worried about the Evangelion one because live action, everyone's just like, fuck it.
Here's my opinion. Ready, Nick? Here's what it is. Netflix needs to keep doing this bull crap, regardless if it's good or not, so then we can stay in business.
So we can shit on it.
Making our $1.
But no, seriously. No, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. I just have no opinions on it.
Going back to Eva really quick. So the reason it didn't get streamed for like over a decade, because it used to be on TV, but it didn't get any streaming legally, was because there was like a legal battle with Gainax, I think. Or let me double check this. Oh, somebody deleted their post. That's lovely. I think it had to do with a legal battle. They couldn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't license it. It was, I think, Mike Toole Justin Savekis from ANN, I think, was one of the people who brought that story up.
It was one of those things where it was
one of them.
It fell through the cracks of the legal system in terms of like rights and all that, and it kind of just ended up in limbo. So it's like, okay, well, who can do this kind of thing?
It wasn't just like a price thing. I'm sure that had something to do with it.
No, yeah, it was much more. It was a lot more, yeah.
But it was something like really stupid and mundane, but they were just, yeah.
It ended up in purgatory because of it, and everyone was like, how do we do this now? Because
Anno split off from Gainax to create Kara, and like everything like splintered.
The yarn was too tangled.
I think that was part of it. I don't know if that's, but that probably wasn't even the whole thing.
It was not worth untangling. It was just like, Anyway, I think that was worth mentioning. I know we've been saying for a while that we were going to do like the news segment, and I'm probably going to start doing that this week, getting that together. But that was worth mentioning because
we're going to do an Eva episode at some point next year.
Oh yeah, down.
Because it's coming out next year.
It has. We have to do it. Yeah. So like, that being said, it was just kind of like, well, we got to mention this because literally the news came out like after we recorded last week, and we're just like, shit, god damn it. So anyway, there's that for you. Today's episode, we're going to talk about hidden gems.
The opposite of Evangelion.
The opposite of Evangelion.
Well, not necessarily in quality. There's a lot of good stuff here.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
But stuff that may not be the top.
Yeah. Kind of like it's underrated, underappreciated. It's not very high in the popularity.
Yeah, and the way we decided was we just arbitrarily picked it had to be above the top 500 in popularity on MyAnimeList. So anything that's 500 or above, we could select.
Yeah. So
yeah, that takes out a lot of titles, but it also there's a lot of stuff that you'd be surprised at how few people have seen it.
Right. And maybe we're going to mention a couple things you haven't heard of. So there's some recommendations for you. This counts as a recommendation episode for you too. So there you go. We'll get into that. Before Waifu and Husbando, though, I'm just going to quick mention links.animesummit.net. Go there to follow us, find us everywhere. There you can do that. New episodes every Thursday on our iTunes and RSS feed, and it comes out on YouTube the following Saturday. We have now ended Manga Book Club, or not ended it, but we've finished reading Akira, and we are taking a break for December until we can decide what the next book is, and Danny will post that in the announcements when we decide the next book, and then you guys can add us on Discord, and we'll mention it on Twitter too, so you can join the Discord and be part of it. It's really fun, and then I record the whole thing, and it's great. So there you go. Akira's done. It was great. We decided it was fucking 10 out of 10 manga. It was awesome.
Well,
Nick, have you read Akira?
I've read the title.
Wow.
I'm getting around to it.
Dude, you should. You should.
I
but
saw
anyway,
the Santa Claus spoof on that, so that was cool.
You
know?
should. I love all
picture
those.
in Discord.
The Kaneda walking to the bike and all the different. I used to have a Batman shirt like that, where it was Batman walking to the Tumblr, his little Tumblr thing. Anyway.
Oh, not the.
You know what
not
I
the
forgot to mention?
Online Tumblr.
Yesterday, Sam.
What?
When Joker told Kaneda, "Oh, come here, I want to show you something," and like, he had like a cloth over, like obviously it was gonna be a something he built. I thought he was gonna reveal Kaneda's bike.
And he didn't.
He didn't. I was like, God damn it!
No, dude, that's a great manga. You should read it. Anyway, Danny will put that in announcements for you. When we discuss what the next book is. So let's get into it. Main topic: Hidden Gems, Waifu and Husbando. Here we go. For Waifu, Urabe Mikoto from Mysterious Girlfriend X. Is it Girlfriend? GFX? Mysterious GFX?
Yes.
Mysterious Graphics.
Mysterious Girlfriend X. Yes.
GIF? Is it
GFX
GIF
means
or is it
graphics,
GIF?
What?
Danny.
It's
I was like,
girlfriend.
I know.
Graphics?
You can't abbreviate
Just
because that could be
why
anything.
can't we abbreviate? We're abbreviating.
Because that GFX is graphics.
Whatever. It's not GFX. There's a space in between.
What makes Urabe Mikoto the waifu?
Because she carries scissors in her panties. And
Oh, so she's like Senjigahara, kind of.
but better.
Okay, that's
She's
fighting
awesome.
words.
I'm already into it.
In the words of Dracula, what have you done to my wife?
Her art design, like her character design, is just awesome.
I like it.
Yeah. She's
And
cool.
then for Husbando, I chose Souichi Negishi from Detroit Metal City, the lead singer of the band Detroit Metal City.
And I gotta rewatch that show.
You should watch the live action. Fucking Gene Simmons is in it.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, it's actually really funny. Like it's just as I wouldn't say it's as funny as the show, but it's a pretty good live action adaptation. Yeah, he just wants to be in a pop band, or he wants to do like solo pop music, but the only way he can be on the stage is by doing death metal.
Dude, that's
it's
what I'm
actually,
saying, man.
it sounds really stupid the way I'm saying it, but it's funny. We'll get into
I
that
like how
later.
I like how he's the lead singer, right? He's trying to lead like a quiet life, but he just gets roped into the fucking heavy metal.
Yeah.
He has to go all out. So
He's
it's
writing
always
these
funny.
lyrics that are completely opposite of like things he wants to think about or would rather sing about. Like, I'll get into it. I'll get into it later. But we nominated a waifu and Husbando that came from our list. So that being said, the way we're gonna do this though, so Nick kind of already described how we did it or how we picked them. We're gonna go through our honorable mentions first, and then our top three. Round table like how we normally do lists. So Nick will go, then I will go, then Danny will go, then we'll go to Nick's number 1 or number 3 and number 2, my number 1, whatever, around the table. You know what I mean? So there we go.
Yes, sir.
And this doubles as a recommendation. So if you haven't watched any of these, take this as we're recommending it to you. You should just listen to everything we say because we're right and you're wrong. We like our steak medium.
Oh, gross. Medium.
Yes, medium.
Medium. I
Wait,
actually eat mine medium
That's like
rare.
half wrong though, Sam.
I eat mine medium rare, actually.
Yeah, it's medium rare or rare
Nope.
if
medium.
you're a man.
Medium.
Well,
Medium,
I didn't
no,
want to
that's- oh,
exclude
man.
everyone, you know what I mean? Because I actually eat it medium rare to raw. Or to
Yeah,
sear.
there you go.
Yeah.
See, that's a human right
Ew.
there. That's blood dripping.
My
from
mom
your-
always used
from
to
your
say,
fangs.
Mijo, I need blood to feed my blood. And my brother would get so mad. That doesn't make any sense. Stupid.
Actually, it makes perfect sense.
I need blood
Did you
to feed
know-
my blood.
Did you know that dogs are made out of dog food and water?
Shut up.
True fact, right there. All right. Just thought I had to mention that.
No way. So, Nick, why don't you start with your honorable mentions, then we'll go to mine, then we'll go to Danny's, and then we'll get into the meat of it,
Okay.
our top 3 hidden gems recommendations for y'all.
I'm just learned something pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to start with a little known OVA and yet also kind of a cult classic, Yokohama Shopping Log. This is a 1998 OVA. It has 2 episodes and then a second part with 2 more episodes. It's Studio IG-Do, source based on a manga. They're about 30-minute episodes. It is directed by... Okay, here we go. So it's directed by Tomomi Michizuki, who also directed Meisen Ikoku, which is another kind of classic rom-com slice of life show, among a bunch of other things.
And that's by Rumiko Takahashi too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he directed part of Ranma 1/2 as well.
Oh wow!
And he also directed Pupa. There you go.
Pupa. I've actually never heard of. I've actually never heard of Yokohama Shopping Log though. Or
so Yokohama Shopping Log is an Iyashikei slice of life. What that means is it is a healing show. That's what Iyashikei basically means, which means that there's no real plot. There's not much comedy. There's not much anything. I've mentioned Aria in the past, and that's a more well-known Iyashikei. My Neighbor Totoro is another example. A lot of Ghibli movies kind of fit this a little bit, or maybe a couple. It might just be Totoro because there's not much of a conflict, but what it does is it's just really relaxing. So the whole point of Yokohama Shopping Log is there's a girl who's also kind of like an android / robot who is she's the head of a cafe because the owner took an indefinite leave of absence, and the cafe doesn't receive any visitors. It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic world, and it's super peaceful, and it's weird because it's like, instead of, you hear the saying, it's like the world will end with a whimper, not a bang, or something like that. That's kind of what this is. It's just like humanity and life is just kind of accepting it peacefully. There's nothing really dark about it. It's just like, it's kind of like nearing the end of civilization, but it's still really it's almost like Girls Last Tour a little bit, because we covered that a while back.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
And it's like really lets like moments sink in, which is cool. This might be interesting to watch while you're in like a certain state of mind. If you smoke the ganja in a legal area, then this might be something interesting to check out. Because I remember a scene at the end where she and a older woman are just staring at the sea. It's literally like 2 straight minutes of that. It's crazy. Like she just like sits at her cafe. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but just check it out. It's really short. It's just total 4 episodes OVA. So just thought I'd mention that one. Honorable mention. I kind of went long on that one, but I'll let you guys take the next one.
Oh no, I thought we're gonna do all of our honorable mentions.
Oh shit! I'll let myself take the next one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick.
Do all.
You guys have any?
Mentions, yeah.
Real quick, do you guys have any like questions or comments about it? Or
no, actually, I actually really want to watch this though. Like I've
yeah,
never heard
it's
of
not.
This.
It's not on any legal streaming services right now, so you're gonna have to use other means to find it. I'm not sure that the physical copies are cheap either, but I mean, it's fine.
It's fine.
Hey, if they don't have a legal option, then you gotta do what you gotta do. Next show I will recommend is a short from 2013. It's called Aiura. This one's really popular on the Reddit anime. On the anime subreddit, where people will often post little streamable videos of scenes in the show, because all the episodes are 4 minutes long, so you can just post little clips. It's based on a 4-koma manga, Studio Leiden Films, directed by Ryusuke Nakamura, which sounds really familiar. Why does that sound familiar? Oh shit, he did he helped on Threegatsu no Lion, Aibangaku, Grimgar. He did some help on Made in Abyss, Monster. This guy's done everything. Nana, holy crap. Okay. Anyway, Aiura is just like really fun slice of life comedy about 4 girls. It's like the 4-girl comedy.
Mm-hmm.
You have Kanaka, Saki, Ayuko, and Mei, and they just kind of go to class and have fun and have these little wacky little hijinks. That's super funny. The physical comedy is great in this, and like the way that my favorite one is Kanaka, because she's kind of like an airhead. I always gotta like the airheads. Yui. Shout out to Yui.
Shout out to Yui.
From K-On! Because she kind of like pushes plot along a little bit, and the whole idea is that all the girls are pretty lazy, and they just want to be lazy, and it's great. So really recommend Aiura. It's like a total. It's like 40 minutes total for this whole thing. So just like Shopping Log, it's actually even shorter than Shopping Log. So there you go.
There you go. So there's Nick's honorable mentions. I'll get through mine here. This, we'll do this one, real quick, just because I haven't seen all of it. But one I wanted to mention was the City Hunter franchise. City Hunter. I haven't seen the whole first series, and I've only seen a couple of the movies and OVAs. So like, but anyway, the whole thing about City Hunter is that it stars Ryo Saiba, and he is a detective, and the first series is like 51 episodes, and there's like there's a couple arcs in it, and then there's a bunch of movies, and then there's like a season 2, then there's So Long, or is it like Goodbye My Sweetheart, is like a movie where he was supposed to like end or whatever. But it's kind of like action mystery comedy detective work. It's kind of like it came out in 1980. I think it was 87.
87?
Yeah. Yep,
yeah.
there it is.
Well, it spanned a number of years. It had like a bunch of seasons and movies, ton of stuff.
It's kind of like that. It's almost like watching a buddy cop movie from the 90s, except it's just one guy, and it's got that nice splash of comedy every once in a while. It's like that. It's like the funny parts are funny and the serious parts are serious. It's just a really cool franchise. I love Ryo. He's fearless. He's also kind of a doofus sometimes. Actually, yeah, there's a new movie coming out in 2019 in February. Also, I don't know if it's like a reboot or in a sequel or an addition to, I don't know. But I did see the trailer and it was super sick. Actually has spawned one of the catchiest fucking songs ever.
Oh, dude, it has a lot of good soundtrack to it.
It was not in my endings list, but it's by TM Revolution and it's called Get Wild, I think. Yeah.
Look that up. That's bopping.
Yeah, please look that up. It was not. It's not on my favorite endings list on our endings episode, but it should.
Well, that was just 7. We only got to pick 7, so
yeah, that's
we
true.
can always do another one because Danny hasn't done one yet. So maybe we'll do one later.
There you go. So anyway, City Hunter, check it out.
The opening's really good too. There's a lot of ton of good stuff in that. So
ton of good soundtrack in that for sure. This next one, it's only an honorable mention because there's only one ep. It was an ONA. It was supposed to pick up after that, but no one picked it up. It's called Cat Shit 1, and it's based off a manga from
what?
From
Cat
the 80s.
shit?
Sam, are you sure this isn't in the top 500 popularity?
I am very certain.
I've literally never heard of this.
The manga came out in 98 and ran to 2005. It took forever because it was like one guy doing it by itself.
What the fuck? This doesn't even look like anime.
It was 4 volumes, and the OVA is a CG. It was a CG animated, but it is based on the manga Cat Shit 1, by Motofumi Kobayashi. But anyway, it's just a war drama, except all of the people are animals. So if they're an American, they're rabbits. If they're Vietnamese, they're cats. If they're Chinese, they're pandas. If they're Russian, they're bears. So like it's based on what country.
Why do I want to watch this?
You do want to watch it because it's amazing.
The top Mal review is really funny. I'm reading it now.
So the manga actually is about the Vietnam War, and it follows 3 American soldiers, Bataski, Packy or Perkins, and Rats, and during the Vietnam War. But the OVA that came out, the one episode that came out in 2010, they actually set it to the Iraq War. So that whole episode centered around Perkins and Bataski doing a rescue op in a little. I guess they didn't say it in the episode or the whatever, but I guess it's ISIS, And Afghani Middle Eastern people are always camels, goats, or sheep, and you just see these terrorists kind of. They're shooting their own people. They got an American soldier captured, and it's a rescue mission. But it gets real intense. It's like super serious, which is hard to take seriously.
22 minutes. You don't have to sell me anymore. It's 22 minutes. I'll watch it.
Yeah, watch it. It's hard to take serious though because when the bunnies are running, they're like with their fucking little feet. Anyway,
Dude, this has a higher popularity than City Hunter.
yeah, Catch It one. Look it up.
Oh man,
And then
great name.
and then Get a Robo, the Get a Robo franchise.
Well, you already named 2 though.
Hmm.
You only get 2. You only get 2 noms. 2 of Sam's noms for the honorable mentions.
That's true. So anyway, I've already said Get a Robo.
Delete
in the past.
that, please.
I've already said Get a Robo in the past. Just watch it. It's amazing. Okay.
Don't worry, we'll have another robot show later.
Well, yeah, that's true. Danny, go ahead.
Okay,
Get a Robo.
So my honorable mentions are D.N.Angel. And
Yeah, I remember D.N.Angel.
Yeah. Do you remember
Never heard of this one either.
D.N.Angel?
Excellent.
D.N.Angel.
Angel Beats? Nope. D.N.Angel.
No, not Angel Beats. D.N.Angel.
I just on Mel, it's like Angel's Egg, Angel Beats.
Pretty much this is about a kid who, pretty much he transforms into like this other form called Dark Mousy. He's an infamous phantom thief. He steals stuff and all that kind of and all that other jazz. I haven't seen this in a while. Like the last time I saw this was when it came to America. So that was like maybe 10 years ago. But it's definitely a good watch for me. Like this is my childhood. And I definitely would recommend it to anybody. The 2000s was definitely the weakest decade for anime, to me, in my personal opinion. Just for the sole fact that every single anime character had big ass eyes. And
yeah. You can definitely tell it's from the early 2000s when you look
For
at
the bug
sure.
eyes.
Yeah.
I always think of the meme that's like, "Am I cute?" and the girl's face is so fucked up.
The studio who produced it was Xebec.
Zebek, yeah.
Yeah, they did what did
Nadesco.
they do? They did Nadesco, they did Shaman King, Shuffle, Love Hina, they did Keijo. They did
Yeah,
a whole
bunch of
bunch.
stuff.
They did a whole bunch of stuff.
They've been around.
They've been around.
And like the source for D.N.Angel is a manga, which was apparently it's still going on. I think it's on
Damn.
Cult. Yeah. According to Mal, it was published 1997, and there's a question mark at the end. Yeah. So that's number 1.
I do remember when DVDs were blowing up.
For sure, yeah.
This was
Suncoast
like the
and
one that people were
yeah.
buying.
Yeah, everyone was buying this. I even have some volumes of D.N.Angel. One of my best friends from high school, she was obsessed with D.N.Angel. She was like all about Daisuke, who is the main character. And watch the dub, because you got Vic Mignogna in it. He plays Dark.
Wait, how do you say his name?
It's Vic Mignogna.
Vic Mignogna, whatever.
But I always say
Vic
Mignogna
Lasagna.
because it's funny.
Mignogna.
Danny, aren't you like Italian or something?
I'm like half Italian.
You should be able to pronounce Vic Lasagna at least.
Vic Lasagna.
Vic Lasagna. Okay, from now on, I'm calling him Vic Lasagna.
Hey, when me and Nick went to that 5-star restaurant the other day, we ordered the filet mignon, dude. It was great.
Yeah. So that's that. And the other honorable mention for me is Super Gals. And that's pretty much about this girl who her name is Ran Kotobuki. She's a Shibuya gal. So she's all about the fashion, and she has the long nails and everything. She has the red streak in her hair. And pretty much she's kind of like a crime fighter around Shibuya. Like if something doesn't go doesn't go right or anything like that. She like does crime fighting and stuff. Because her entire family is a family of cops. But she doesn't want to be a police officer. So, this one is another 2000 show and studio.
You can tell because the character design is the same kind of as Hamtaro.
Yeah.
You can tell because Danny recommended it.
Shut up.
Danny, the
I'm
early
sorry,
2000s master.
This is my childhood. I'm sorry. This is when I really started to get into anime. And Super Gals was definitely my top show to watch back when I was like 13, 14. So, Studio Pirate did it. Piro.
It's pronounced Piro.
Okay. They did Tokyo Ghoul, Naruto, Bleach. They
did part of Legend of Korra. I remember that. Everyone hated
Oh
it.
man.
Did they really?
Like season 2, part of season 2.
Oh, they
That's
also
crazy.
did. They also
I
did.
think they did.
Yu Yu Hakusho and Great Teacher.
Yeah,
Onizuka.
Piro's been around for a while.
So
Yeah, and the thing about studios is like depending on the year and the decade, it's like they had, better or worse. So, because it's all about the staff. So,
if I didn't-
Fushigi Yugi they did, which also was on my list too. Fushigi Yugi.
I remember Fushigi Yugi.
Nope, no mention. Edit that out, please.
I only like a small thing. Relax, God.
If I
You're
didn't,
only allowed to mention 5.
So before we get to the meat of it and get back to Nick here, I do have to mention that if I didn't date myself with a DVD comment already, I remember seeing
DVD.
I
They still sell
remember
DVDs.
I remember seeing like back when DVDs were blowing up when I said that. I remember seeing the preview for Super Gals in a New Type magazine that I got at Hot Topic.
I don't even remember. I think actually I saw Super Gals in a magazine as well, and I said, "Oh, I like this," and I went to Suncoast or Sam Goody, and I picked up the DVD, so I have the first quote unquote volume of the DVD for Super Gals.
I actually might have that New Type because Mario gave me a bunch of them back when New Type was a thing. Anyway,
It's so good.
let's get into the balls. Let's get into the tits of it all.
Balls deep.
Let's go balls deep in Nick's.
Pee is stored in the balls.
That
Prove me
sounded
wrong.
really bad. Nick, hidden gems.
All right.
Our top 3s. Let's go.
All right, so let's get the fuck into it. So
Catch it
Area
one.
88. Wait, what was that? You just interrupted me.
You're gonna say Cat Shit 1, right?
Oh yeah, Catch It 1. That's number 1 because it's 1 in the name. Area 88 is number 88.
See, I never even heard of this.
Yeah, so this is an 3-episode OVA. It also has a TV series that came out later on, but the OVA is what it's known for.
I know this artwork. I can tell right away.
1985, based on a manga studio. Pretear. It's oops, sorry, I had the wrong thing there. The director, I had the page and it keeps getting lost here. Who's the original creator here? I had that page up too.
Kaoru Shintani.
There we go. So basically, this is it's kind of like not Top Gun because that was a little more upbeat, I would say. But this is it's kind of like a war drama with you have a soldier named Shin who gets conscripted into a foreign military, the Aslan Royal Fleet, and he is a fighter pilot, and he's forced to fight for these mercenaries in order to survive. He has 3 choices. He has to either pay the organization $1.5 million, survive for 3 years in combat, or desert. And deserting means he'll be executed. So he gets tricked into it by his best friend, who he's known from childhood, because his best friend is named Kanzaki, and he tricks him into signing the paper to join the mercenaries. And what happens is, like, Kanzaki is trying to buy out the airlines where Shin worked because Shin had been dating the airline's president's daughter, and Kanzaki was jealous of Shin, and he wanted to, he wanted Shin just out of the picture, basically. So, Kazuma Shin, that's his full name.
The main guy.
Yeah. And yeah, and it kind of revolves around Kanzaki and Shin and the daughter, and then also the other mercenaries fighting for survival, and then also kind of learning along the way that they, at a certain point, like these mercenaries can't live in the real world because they only feel alive in combat. And that's kind of a cool little feature characteristic that these guys have to struggle with. So it is kind of like a boys type of show. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to a lot of like ladies like Danny, like yourself, just because, it just feels like kind of a guy's show, The aerial combat is really cool because it's all 2D animated on cells, because 1985 obviously. So if it had it been done today, and I think actually the TV series has some CG elements to it because it's like the early 2000s, doesn't look nearly as cool. The explosions are great. I need to find the key animator. Anyway, they did a great job key animating it. I really should have had these names pulled up. The other thing too that makes Area 88 really great is the soundtrack. It has some what are they called? Some really like hip 80s songs as the openings and endings. I posted them in the chat. I put a little playlist. My favorite one I think is the Destiny, the song titled Destiny. It's just really good. So Sam, you said you've never heard of this one?
Actually, I actually have. Not in the same way. Earlier, just a minute ago, you probably heard me go, "Oh," because this is actually an arcade game I used to play at the Lakeville movie theater, and it was called UN Squadron, and it was a shooter. It was a side-scrolling shooter. You picked a pilot, and you had to get through the levels, and it was a really hard game. I did not realize these were the same thing. They changed the name for American consoles to UN Squadron for some reason. That's why I recognized.
Like
I clicked on the
Robotech
Mal
Lacrosse
page.
type thing. Yeah.
I clicked on the Mal page and I recognized the guy, and I was like, "Oh, I know this guy." And then I saw the little Aslan symbol, the little red hawk symbol thing, and I'm like, "Wait a second, this is UN Squadron." Great game, by the way. But no, I didn't know it was this. I just thought it was a game by itself. So now I kind of want to really watch this. Like, I super want to watch this.
It's really cool. The one thing I'll say is that it is a little bit straightforward as far as the characterization of a lot of these guys. And Shin's love interest, I keep forgetting her name. The daughter, Ryoko. There we go. She is a little bit of she's not as much of a character as Shin and Kanzaki, which is unfortunate. But like it's still it's kind of like the straightforward love story between them, and Shin is like he's just trying to survive so he can get back to her. But then at a certain point, he does escape the military briefly, and he goes back in the civilian world, and he calls her on the phone. And he just realizes he doesn't even want that. He has to go back into battle. So it's like this struggle for him, and it's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean it's a pretty straightforward show. I'd like to give it an 8, so it could be, what is it? So it could be congruent with the title. 8 out of 88. That'd be kind of cool. I think I gave it like a 7, solid 7 out of 10. I know a lot of people really enjoy this. Some of people's favorite show. But yeah, check out Area 88. The episodes reach about an hour long, so it's about a movie length, long movie.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a Let's Play of UN Squadron. And be like, shout out to Nick for Area 88. Dude, that's awesome. I kind of really want to watch this now because I used to love that game. I actually can emulate it on my computer. So, that's really sick. I really want to watch this. Okay. Area 88. Go watch it.
Yeah, the animation and the soundtrack are great. Like you'll enjoy it for that stuff alone, really. So
okay. Let's go to me. The first thing. So you know what? Let's do Husbando. I'm gonna mention this one first, just because it's a short anime where the episodes are like 5 to 7 minutes long. Detroit Metal City. Fucking. There's this kid named Souichi Negishi, and he dreams of being a working musician, just a popular musician. He plays his acoustic guitar. He knows how to play guitar, and he loves flowers, walking. Long walks on the beach, baking a cheese tart.
What'd you call me? Sorry.
But then, like
What'd you say? Would
it
you call
turns
me?
out that he's really good at playing guitar, so much to the point where the Death Records manager, who's like, she doesn't have a name in the anime, they just call her manager. She's like, you should play in my band. And he's like, okay. And it turns out it's a death metal band called Detroit Metal City, where the lyrics are about like killing people and killing your parents and raping them and really bad, really dumb, crude shit. Like really dumb shit. Just really dark, crude lyrics. But he does it, and he continues to do it because it's the only way he can like be on stage and have people cheer for him. And he like paints his face with like black metal like makeup, and he becomes Johannes Krauser the second. It's kind of like, yeah, it's episodic, slice of life, you know, like it's based on a manga. I actually have the first volume of it.
He looks so normal without the face paint.
Yeah,
Like he looks like a big ass.
he's got
nerd.
like a bowl cut.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And he's like really what is it, quiet and
Yeah.
and,
Oh my god, the
underspoken or whatever.
guy who
Soft-spoken.
plays him like in the live action, he looks exactly like the character like with the bowl cut and everything. He
Yeah.
looks so happy.
The live action is actually really good. This is actually a really good live action anime adaptation.
Yeah, you don't even need anime for this one.
No, not even. And it's Gene Simmons is in it too, which is hilarious. He plays Kenny Ildark in the live action, which is the American guitarist who says he's better than Johannes Krauser. But yeah, like in the anime and in the movie, you know, he's like writing songs about baking and having fun with his friends and picking flowers. And then people read his lyrics and they're like, dude, this is lame. You should write real lyrics like Detroit Metal City. And they say it to him not knowing that he's Johannes Krauser.
Oh yeah, because he's leading double life.
Yeah. He's just like, hush, god damn it. I just want to bake a cheese tart and write happy popular music. And then he gets on stage and he's just like, kill everyone. Dude, it's so funny. Like it's really hilarious. It's so polarizing, the two people he plays, the two lives he lives, that it's just like, I don't know. And the only reason it's pretty popular. The only reason I put it on my list because I just feel like it's kind of forgotten. Because
you're brushing right up against that 500 song.
Yeah, because when it came out,
according to Mal.
Yeah, according to Mal. Because when it came out, it was really popular, and then I feel like people have forgotten about it. So I thought,
well, yeah, as more stuff comes out, it'll get pushed down. So.
Yeah. So anyway, Detroit Metal City, you should check it out.
Dude,
the manga and the show.
What do they call it? They call it like the pig of capitalism or whatever. They have this like fat guy who's like a business guy who just joins their band.
Yeah,
he's, like,
he's an
always on all
onstage
fours.
prop. So like they ball gag him and
Yeah,
put
he's
him
like a
in
gimp
bondage
or something. Sort of.
Yeah, he's like the gimp from Pulp Fiction. Exactly, that's exactly what he is. He represents like corporate greed and how they're going to like tear it down, and adults
I
are
love that
lame.
guy.
Yeah, he like puts one leg on top of him while he plays guitar. It's really funny,
dude. That's like, this is how every metal band should be. Like, this is because they go so hard. Like, there's one part
yeah.
I remember he's like, they're like, oh man, I forgot the context of it, but he was next to this tower. Was he in Paris or was he in Japan? It was like a tower that he pretended to have sex with it and like rape the tower or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Like, wow, dude,
like, he's raping the tower so hardcore.
Dude, only Johannes Krauser, dude. Only Johannes Krauser. Like,
oh man, and they posted this. I learned about this on the anime subreddit where they posted the part with him like beating up cops or something. There's a part where he does that, or he like threatens to kill a woman or something like that. But the way that it's done is so funny.
it was a misunderstanding, I think.
Yeah,
because like there's another part where he falls. He's coming out of the back room, and the fans are out there to meet him, and he trips and falls on top of somebody. And they're like, "Oh my god, he's murdering that person. That's awesome!"
Yeah.
And he's like trying to get up, but he's struggling because his suit's slippery. And he's like, "No, damn it, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to fall on you." And they're like, "Oh, that's amazing. That's hardcore. He's killing someone right when he gets off stage." It's fucking
dude, yeah,
stupid.
because his legend gets like too big for him to handle. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So there's like all these fucking crazy rumors. Oh my god, it's so funny. Just Detroit Metal City. You should watch it. Very short. there's I don't remember how many episodes there are. Holy
There's
shit.
12, and they're all 13 minutes, according to Mal.
Oh, okay. I thought they were like 7 to 10. No, yeah, 13 minutes. There you go. Hilarious. And if you get a chance, watch the live action because I think the live action is worth the watch too. But okay, Danny. Let's go to Danny's number 3 pick.
Hey.
Or hidden gems.
So my first, well, number 3, number 3 hidden gem would have to be Pretear. Pretear, the New Legend of Snow White. It was aired in 2001, sorry. And it's about a girl who's adapting, like she's adjusting to a new stepfamily. Her father is a novelist, and he married into a wealthy family, and it's very Snow White Cinderella-esque, only because she's looked down by her stepfamily, like her stepmother and her 2 stepsisters, or stepsister, only one stepsister. So, but she all of a sudden meets these 7 guys who are pretty much like quote unquote the 7 dwarfs, and she encounters with a monster who's inflicting her friend's life. So she has to prove herself capable of obtaining the Pretear, which is pretty much like a magical power. So it's a magical girl show. She has like different outfits. So every time she Pretears with one of the 7 guys, she gets a whole new outfit. It's very, very 2000-y, especially with the big eyes again. Hot guys. You can't go wrong with hot guys, knowing me.
Danny, you're such a girl.
I mean, when it comes to anime, I guess I am a very girly girl. So,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
It's very shoujo, yeah. It's fantasy, comedy, magical girl, drama. Hall filmmaker produced it.
Oh, dude, they did Aria too.
They did Aria. They did Skip Beat. They did Princess Tutu.
Skip Beat's great. Oh, so those are both great. Yeah, Hell
Yeah.
Filmmaker did some good stuff.
They did Holic.
Is that pronounced XXXXXX
Yeah,
Holic or just
yeah.
Holic?
I call it just Holic, but it's triple X.
That's the
Holic.
one with the noodle people, right?
Yeah.
The noodle people.
That's
Yeah,
what
they have
pretty
the
much
clamp.
it is.
Yeah, the Code Geass character type designs. It's
They
funny.
did quite a few good ones. Yeah. They
Okay.
So,
The New Legend of Snow White, Pretear, The New Legend of Snow White.
yeah, this is another childhood show that me and my friends were really big on. It's 13 episodes, and it's adaptation from a manga. I'm not familiar with the manga. I skipped out on that. The main character, her name is Himeno. So, and I believe Lucy Christensen voices her in the dub. So, a lot of vets are in dub-wise are in this show.
Okay.
So,
Nice. I've never actually heard of this.
if you like magical girl shows, this is definitely a show for you. It was definite at the time when it came out. It was super popular. I'm assuming it has it's a score of 7.29 on Mal. So, but the popularity went down, so it's like in the thousands of its popularity on Mal.
17 something.
So,
Okay.
but it was definitely overlooked. It has a great story. Bad guy, a bad lady trying to resurrect the Tree of Doom. So,
You had me at Doom.
Watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
Doom.
mean, honestly, all the dresses that Himino wears are just so gorgeous. It just reminds me of Cardcaptor Sakura, how her best friend makes all her dresses.
I fucking
and
love
stuff.
Cardcaptor Sakura.
So yeah, no.
If I didn't love it before, I love it more now because I'm reading the manga.
This is
But
definitely like I said, if you like magical girl shows, this is definitely like another form of a magical girl show.
Nice
So,
one, mate. Nice
has some
one.
it has some really nice transformation sequences. So
Oh,
yeah.
it is a Maho shoujo. Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
All right,
on.
Nick.
So we're on my number 3.
You're number 2.
Is that right? Oh, sorry, my number 2. I lost count.
You did it.
Number 2.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the 2008 TV series Kaiba by Studio Madhouse. It's an original work created by.
Madhouse. In the middle of the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Madhouse.
I really gotta watch this one because I've seen someone
So
talk
this-
about this.
Well, I told you. Yeah, Sam, you need to watch this. All right, it's directed and created by Masaki Uwasa, who did Devilman Crybaby from this year. He helped with Space Dandy. He did Ping Pong the Animation, Tatami Galaxy. So you already know it's gonna be good. And Kaiba is like a really weird one. It's like one of his most underrated works because, I mean, I think the most popular is probably Devilman Crybaby because that's on Netflix and it's new. But anyway, Kaiba it's kind of a crazy premise that's at the end of the day, if you pay attention, it's not as complicated as it looks. So there is a world that exists where memories are stored in memory chips and they're separate from the body, and what that means is you can transfer your memory to a different vessel, and what happens is it's possible to alter the memories when they're transferred between bodies, and what this does is it means the people who are rich can afford all of this and attain eternal life, while the people who are poor end up selling their bodies and as a way to earn money. And so you got these two, the haves and the have-nots. And then what happens is it's kind of like a fantasy sci-fi setting. So it starts off with a boy named Kaiba who wakes up and he has no memories, total amnesia. He has a mysterious hole in his chest, and he has a locket with a picture of an unknown woman. And so he has to, the whole story revolves around him trying to discover who this woman is and trying to find his memories. And he goes along, and he actually eventually transfers into like a female body, and it gets kind of crazy. So like it's really kind of touching, and there's a lot of really cool metaphors in this show for it's like, what is the importance of memory and like the spirit and the body and all of that, and it's really cool. But when you watch it, it's just kind of a ride. You just gotta kind of let it go over you, So that's kind of the basic idea of it.
I love this art style. I love
so
This is like gonna be in your 3x3 if you watch it.
I love like if you've ever heard of like the game Go-Go Hypergrind, or like Jet Set Radio, or Choo Choo Rocket, or Busta Groove, like that, it's reminiscent of that stuff, and I love it. I fucking love all that shit. So
yeah,
great.
they got the big hands. They're rounded and
bold,
fluffy. Yeah, it's great, and it's kind of cool because like you have these. I'm trying to find his name. It's been a while since I watched it. There's a guy Vanilla who's like this. I think he's like this. He's like a sheriff.
Is this like Strawberry Shortcake? Because his name is Vanilla.
Idea.
His name is Vanilla, so it reminds me of Strawberry Shortcake.
Not everything is fruit, Danny. Damn it.
No, but the TV show. No, the TV show Strawberry Shortcake.
Was there a character named Vanilla in that one?
Strawberry Panic?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys have never heard of Strawberry Shortcake?
Is this an anime?
It's like an American cartoon.
Okay, well, get out of here with that 3D PD, Danny.
All I'm saying is that if I were a
just
dessert,
kidding.
I'd be a Cinnabon.
If I were a dessert, I'd be a fine apple.
Oh my god.
GG.
But
No,
yeah,
dude, I gotta
Kaiba,
watch this.
dude, it's like really touching. The soundtrack in this is fucking amazing. It's I posted a couple of them in our chat again. The tree, I think there's a song called like the Tree of Tales or something. That one I really love. The opening is great. The tree song, that's just what it's called. It's really cool. I think near the end, I would say like some of the best parts are probably, in my opinion, some of my favorite parts are in the beginning and the middle, and then at the end it kind of gets a little more straightforward, and they get the resolution. But yeah, it's really good because like Sam, you're dealing with like identity stuff, being a trans person and all that. So like Kaiba, it's not exactly about that. It's a little more Ghost in the Shell-y sort of because it has like the technological aspect, but it's
you just mean like in terms of finding who you are and things like that, like
and like them changing bodies and stuff like that. It's just it's really cool.
I appreciate that.
Everybody check it out, Kaiba.
Okay, go to mine number 2 real quick. There's not actually much to say about this one because if I say too much, I'll spoil it. But Generator Gawl, anime that I grew up watching, it was fucking amazing. It's only 12 episodes. It's done by Tatsunoko, actually. They did Gatchaman and Cashern and Polymer, Hurricane Polymer. It was produced by ADV, also in America. It's only 12 episodes. It came out in 98. It's about these 3 guys named Ryo, Gawl, and Koji. They come from They come from somewhere, I'll just say.
Gawl? Do they come from Gawl?
Gawl. They come from somewhere.
Azeroth?
I don't want to say, Nick. God. No spoilerinos. They come from somewhere. And they're trying to
a foreign land, we'll call it.
They come to the fictional city of Kubure, which is like it's in Japan, but it's not like a real. And they're trying to fight against these people who are doing some experiments on military weapons that could pretty much destroy human population. The unique thing about Gawl is that he's this thing called a generator. He was one of those military weapons, and he can generate. He can transform into this thing called a generator. He becomes like an armored fucking being. It's almost like Guyver. You know how Guyver's like the armor like kind of crawls around him and comes out of him kind of?
Bio Buster armor.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but isn't that one really graphic?
It is super graphic. He punches his monster in the throat and he throws up on him. It's awesome. Anyway, Generator Gawl.
Keep going. I'm almost finished.
Yeah, 12 episodes. And I can't really say too much after that, but like every episode when he generates, it's so badass. Like his face becomes like, his eyes get like white and he like gets crazy and he just like turns into this cool armored looking thing. And he gets really fast, really strong. He can beat bitches. And every episode there's like a new fucking monster experiment that comes out of this fucking lab. And he's just like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna fuck shit up then. And generate and turn into this fucking awesome guy and fight you. And I can't say too much. I'll spoil it. It's spoilerinos. It's 12 episodes. I think it's just a really cool action sci-fi show. There's a little comedy in it with the girl Masami, who's the main female lead. And it turns out that what they're trying to do, they bite off a little more than they can chew in trying to save the world. But it's awesome. I think it's a really cool. It got forgotten real quick, I think. And I think just for an action sci-fi show from the 90s, it's really cool. Late 90s. But yeah, Generator Gawl, dude. I love it. It's God, I wish I could say more, but I can't. I really can't. Or else it'll spoilerinos. But dude. And the art style is really good too. I think the artwork, they really tried to go past that 90s look. You know, it came out in 98, so like you can tell. And the animation, I think, is pretty decent for the time. It's a little dated, but I mean, you can tell they were trying to go to that next style or find out what that next style was. I really like it. So, generate your Gawl,
For
dude.
show.
12 episodes. Watch it or I'll pee on your house.
On your house. Speaking of peeing on your house, Danny's next show,
Whoa, what the hell?
which I've never seen.
Nick, give me the ladder.
So,
All right, so
my
here's a
my
ladder.
my second show is Hell Teacher Nube. It is a 1996 TV show, 49 episodes, produced by Toei Animation, who obviously did Dragon Ball Z.
Toei.
Toei.
Sorry.
Seneca's favorite feature, Toei's.
Excuse my pronunciations. I'm just horrible at it.
Oh, man.
This is why
Nobody
I
heard
hate
that joke. That's okay.
This is why I hate this recommendation explanation thing.
Pure.
Because I just suck at it.
Studio Lasagna.
Studio Lasagna. So this show is pretty much Great Teacher Onizuka meets Ghost Stories. It's about this very kind teacher, very easygoing, very clumsy, slightly perverted. His name is Nube, and he has a glove on his left hand, and his students don't really know why he has this glove on his left hand all the time, until all of a sudden these ghosts and evil spirits start attacking events, and the students just so happen to be around when it happens. And Nube is cursed by this evil hand that he covers up, and it pretty much exerts the evil spirits, so he fights like all the bad guys and stuff. It has so many side stories. It has movies. It has OVAs. How I came across this show was Nube is a character in a fighting game on PlayStation. I believe Sam helped me out here. I think it's Jumpstar. I believe that's what it's called.
That's like a 3D. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Naruto's in it, Goku, a whole bunch of other characters. And Nube was the character. And I was
Is Waluigi in it?
Waluigi is not in it.
Fuck.
It's pretty much like a Super Smash Brothers fighting game, but for anime characters. And he was a character, and I was really interested in him, so I looked up who Nube was, and I came across this show. It didn't come to America, so it doesn't have a dub. It's only subbed. I don't know if I believe it's fan subbed. How I found it was through Kiss Anime.
Oh no, we gotta blur it out.
So, but I think it's hilarious. I didn't finish it. I'm still in the process of watching it. But from what I've seen, it's pretty hilarious. The students are so freaking snarky, especially some of them. Miki, especially, she's the blonde hair girl with the headband. She's very smart.
Oh, that's my waifu right there.
She's pretty much like the know-it-all of the whole entire class.
Oh, the Hermione Granger.
Yeah. You could say she's like that.
She's my other waifu.
Let's see, what else? Yeah, I don't want to like get into too much detail on it.
It's a long series, 49 episodes.
Yeah, it's a really long series, and like I said, it has OVAs and it has a movie, so it has a lot of material to it. So that's why I haven't finished it, because it has 49 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But I just love Nube. Nube's character's design is just intriguing. He's so simple, but yet when he takes off the glove and he has this cursed hand, he's just such a badass. Even though he's
saying that Instead of saying the gloves are off, he just goes, "The glove is off."
The glove is off, and he's so
Nice one.
he's just
No
so
glove, no
clumsy.
love.
So he's kind of and he kind of reminds me of Goku in a way because he's so clumsy and easygoing, and he just acts dumb. But in reality, like once trouble hits, he's all about the business, and he can take care of the baddies. So
Gotcha.
And he gloats over another teacher. I forgot her name. So, and it's so funny because every time he gloats about her, and she realizes like stop that he's gloating of her, she like tells him, "Stop staring at my boobs, like quit it." And she
Stop
slaps
staring
him.
at my boobs.
She slaps him and everything like that. It's hilarious. I love it.
That's
It's
so
cute.
anime.
It's adorable. Go watch it. Okay,
Gotcha.
Nick, your turn.
Well, speaking of adorable, the opposite of adorable, Giant Robo, the
Nick,
animation.
Dude, this is
the
a good
day
number
the
one.
Earth stood still, dude.
It's a good number
We've
one.
been talking about like some good shows, some great shows, some personal favorites, but this is an all-timer. This is like a masterpiece level. So Giant Robo, the animation, is a 1992 to 1998 OVA series, 7 episodes. Studio, I can't find the studio for some reason. Various licenses, based on a manga. And the whole idea of Giant Robo is it's based off of Mitsuteru Yokoyama's manga series Giant Robo, and it's kind of an homage to his career. It's directed by Yasuhiro Imagawa, and basically what you need to know about Yokoyama is he created, I believe it was Tetsugen 28. It was like the first giant robot show.
Mm-hmm.
And so Giant Robo is like just a huge homage to like giant robot shows from the 60s, and it's like super fucking retro, but at the same time the animation is like god level. So you get like this crazy nostalgia bomb with great animation and like an operatic soundtrack from like this orchestra. It's like Warsaw Philharmonic Orchestra, and it's like this. So basically, the story it's a little bit complicated. There's a lot going on because what Yokoyama did is he let the director Imagawa, he let him just kind of go wild with his characters and create a new story.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of a standalone. You don't need to watch any of the other previous works to understand this.
Or read the manga. No, yeah.
Yeah.
The manga's from the 60s, by the way.
And before I get into it too, a cool fact is that I believe Hideaki Anno was one of the key animators in this too. If I remember that correctly,
I'm looking right now.
He was.
I wouldn't
helped
doubt
out
it.
with it at some point. I know he helped out.
Yep, key animation.
Yeah, key animation. He
was a
helped
keyer.
out with it. So that's kind of. I mean, there's a lot of really talented animators too. It's not just him, but so yeah, the basic gist, and actually, MyAnimeList has a really good summary of this. So the idea is there's a future where humanity enjoys a new age of prosperity thanks to Dr. Shizuma's invention of the Shizuma Drive, which is a renewable and infinite energy source. And what it does is it brings peace to the world. There's no more wars based on nuclear, oil, power, and fighting over resources. But there are still wars over like gaining general power over the land. And so this is the main antagonists are a organization called Big Fire, who are seeking world domination, and the International Police Organization are the opposing side, who are there to stop Big Fire. And together with Daisuke Kazuma, he's the the owner of Giant Robo, the robot. It's the world's most powerful robot, and the Giant Robo is powered by nuclear power, and so it's not shut off when the Shizuma Drive gets shut off, which is kind of like a key plot point. So. Basically, they find out they're fighting against each other, and it's like this whole epic, super melodramatic, just like action-packed show where these two sides are fighting each other. There's a guy. What's his name? Is it Kenji? No, there's a. Let me see. I wrote down. It's been a little while since I watched it, so I had to take some notes. Let's see. Oh boy. One of the characters, it'll be a moment till I find his name. One of the characters is seeking revenge because his father, I think it was Franken von something, was the creator of the Shizuma drive, and he was wronged by like the other doctors in the world and kind of thrown under the bus, and so his family was like shamed. So one of the characters is seeking revenge on the world and trying to shut down the Shizuma drive. And like the whole idea is that they eventually find out that or they find out a secret about I don't want to like spoil anything. So they find out the twist and the secret behind the Shizuma drive, and then it goes from there. And it's really cool because like Sam, you've seen it, right? So
yes, I have.
Like all of the characters are larger than life and like super duper powerful, and they can just like, but they have like kind of some stipulations to their powers, like they only have a limited amount they can do. So, but it's like super epic when they do it, it's just fucking awesome, man. Like there's a lot to watch. You can rewatch this so many times, and you'll always get something out of it. So I don't know if you had any comments. I'm kind of droning on a little bit.
No, Giant Robo Dude is a fucking classic. Okay. Tetsujin, by the way, Nick mentioned earlier, in America that was Gigantor, for those who don't know. But,
yeah, Gigantor, yep.
But yeah, no, Tetsujin.
I've never seen that.
It's really weird. It's black and white, you know what I mean? It's a black and white show. But Giant Robo Dude, Giant Robo himself, I think, even though that this was, the animation, The Day the Earth Stood Still was an homage to his career, Giant Robo himself has inspired a lot of other big robots, tokusatsu
Yeah, it reminds me of
robots.
Big O. I don't know if that's intentional or not.
It was intentional. Next thing I was
Yeah.
about to say. Exactly, Nick. Thank you fucking for recognizing that. Fucking the ribbit design and the skirt and the color scheme was some inspiration for Big O. And then Big O he drew from many other giant hero robots. Especially the head beam thing. The head beam is another thing from someone else. And dude, the head beam is from Mazinger, I think. But yeah, Giant Robo, The Day the Earth Stood Still, is, dude, it's so sick. Like if you like Big O, or you want to see like a tokusatsu one that's like more serious, like Getter Robo Armageddon. Like this is way better than Getter Robo Armageddon, in my opinion. Giant Robo, Still. Yeah.
There's a lot of anime that I haven't seen yet, but like just saying it blindly in the dark, I would say this is easily top 3 mecha anime ever made. Like easily.
I might agree to that. I gotta look at my shit again, but I might super agree to that. Like it's.
You got Evangelion, you got this, you got probably one of the Gundams.
Catch It 1.
Catch It 1. There you go. Well, that's number 1, obviously. So
yeah, no, dude, I love it. I also recommend. I back Nick on this. Like it's
the other thing.
Awesome.
It does draw some influence from Kung Fu cinema, wuxia stories, and like actual just opera. Because like every time the doctor, he's like a mad scientist. He gives like his speech about finding the beautiful night and like conquering humanity's fear against the darkness and stuff, and it's fucking epic, dude. And there's like this giant sphere, which is kind of like the giant sphere is like this kind of what's the word, set piece with the Shizuma drives, and they have to get these they have to like collect these samples and like inject them into it, and like one faction's trying to stop it, one's trying to blow it up, it's crazy. So but dude, like the speeches he gives are fucking awesome.
In
like
7
it
episodes,
goes black and white. Oh man!
In 7 episodes, they explain a lot without hurting your brain. Like there's so much.
It is pretty. There's a lot going on. Yeah, you do have to kind of watch it.
There's a lot of brouhaha. Operation Coconuts, Illuminati shit. It's awesome.
But dude, they go all fucking out, man. Like this is how you do. Like, look, this is how you do melodrama, right? You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
You just gotta fucking go.
Yeah, you just gotta do it. Yeah, dude. God, now I want to rewatch it. We gotta do a Giant Robo.
Man, every time the Giant Robo, like, I don't know if they have eye catches. I don't remember, but like there's parts in the show where it's like getting you to the next scene, and the Robo's just like, boom. I'm like, oh,
boom.
Dude, that sound is fucking beastly.
I've only heard of one show from each of your guys' list, and this is the one I've heard from yours. and it's fucking.
Yeah, I just watched it like last year, so
I gotta rewatch it, dude. It's been a while. It's fucking awesome though.
dude, it's a like to find a hard copy. It's pretty expensive. I think it's like $100+.
Shit.
And it's not streaming anywhere, so you can stream it on YouTube actually. I think, but you can find it on other streaming sites or like torrents and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, definitely do that. Like, definitely watch it by whatever means necessary.
Gotcha.
It's totally worth it.
Awesome. All right, my number one. I'm not gonna. There's really not much to say. Like Danny's, this is one that's fan subbed only. There's not an official sub of it, so it's also not finished. But Ninkuu, dude, I've mentioned this before a long time ago on one of our apps. Ninkuu is fucking awesome. It was based on a Shonen Jump manga, Shonen Jump Weekly. It's 55 episodes, and according to Nick, who told me before we started recording, someone had fan subbed it all the way up to 43 now, I think. Last time I had checked, I had stopped at episode 31 or 32. And then they added a couple more like last year, and then I'm just kind of waiting. I think I'm just going to wait until it's done to go back to it. But basically, there was
That's only been 20 years.
Yeah. The only
Dude,
thing
I bet
that
you could probably find it in like another like Vietnamese and then translate it to English and have like an abomination.
translate the
Probably
Vietnamese.
do
Yeah.
that. I'm making that up.
There was this thing called the Great War, where the Ninkuu fought against the Imperial Army, and they almost won until the Imperial Army pulled some bullshit, and they won, and then they established themselves as the defender of the people and rulers of the world, with the help of propaganda and false bullshit, fear-mongering, gerrymandering, just a bunch of bullcrap. And they
Gerrymandering.
Voter suppression. They
Fake news.
Fake news. They paint the Ninkuu as the villains, and so now they're all like disbanded and in hiding. There's a bunch of the Ninkuu clan, which are extinct ninjas, and then there's captains of each clan, each representing one of the Chinese zodiac. So there's Fusuke the rat,
etc., etc.
Aicho the chicken, yeah, whatever.
There's 12 of them, Sam.
Yeah. Fusuke is the main character, and he's this weird fucking looking kid with like a fucking ribbit mouth. I don't know. He looks fucking weird. And then him and his best friend Hiroyuki the penguin are traveling to reunite the Ninkuu and take back the land, take back the fucking, go back to the Imperial Army and say, you know what, fuck you. The only reason I bring it up is because this is one of the, like, this is an awesome shonen. It's really sick. It's 55 episodes, like I said. They've only said 43. But in my opinion, if you're into Naruto or even probably My Hero, maybe a little bit, this is awesome. Each Ninkuu is like fucking awesome, dude. And the main character Fusuke, the little fucking weird kid, he harnesses the power of the wind. And Naruto's Rasengan.
So he's Aang?
Is a blatant Aang and Naruto. They're blatant ripoffs of Fusuke, and they need to get out of here.
Dude, I'm looking at the Mal cover art, and the guy on the left has some Ethan Klein level bubble butt, man.
Dude,
Bubble
leave him
butt.
alone.
Check it out.
Bubble butt.
Bubble
Bubble
butt.
butt.
Bubble
Thick.
butt. Bubble butt.
Bubble butt.
Shit, now we gotta clear that. No, yeah, that's Aicho of the Sky, of the rooster. He can jump. His legs are fucking 100 times stronger than anyone else.
Well, shit, no wonder he's got bubble butt. All
And
right.
he can jump like a pro. He can just jump really high. And then there's Toji, who's like naked all the time, which is hilarious. Toji of the ground.
Oh, he's like the guy from Food Wars.
Yeah, dude. Toji the ground, Fusuke the wind, Aicho the sky, and then there's more. Without spoiling,
Wait, there's
more.
wind and sky. What's the difference?
Well, the wind blows shit. In the sky, you're just in the sky, dude.
Sky just kind of sits there.
And then there's Hiroyuki, and he's a penguin, and he's awesome. Dude, it's a cool shonen. Like, if you're into ninja shit and you're into shonen, this is a classic. Like, if you're going to be a fan of Naruto, you have to watch this. And the only reason I bring it up is because I think it needs to be recognized more as one of the early shonens, like, you know, like Yu Yu Hakusho is an early shonen. This one's an early one. The only thing that ever got dubbed was the movie, and the movie is like a side story, and it wasn't even really canon. But you couldn't really understand who the people were anyway, because it didn't explain any of that. It was fucking weird. You know what I mean? It's just like here's the Ninkuu here, and then here's a movie. But the movie was done by, or actually I think all of it was done by Studio Pierrot, right? Yeah, all of it's done by Studio Pierrot.
We got a lot of Studio Pierrot today.
Pierrot, yeah. They also do Naruto also. So there you go. Ninkuu. And then there's a fucking OVA called Knife no Buyo or whatever. But I love it. If you're a Naruto fan or anything like that and you're a shonen fan, you have to watch Ninkuu. As soon as they fucking finish
God damn it, Sam. You're like, guys, just go watch this. It's not finished.
Hey,
not even subbed, actually.
Hey, Danny had an unfinished one, so fuck y'all.
No, hers was finished. She just hasn't quite caught up yet.
No.
I personally didn't finish.
Oh, I thought you said Hell Teacher Nube wasn't done being subbed.
No.
No, Sam. We pick finished shows. We pick finished productions.
Oh, fuck you.
Dude,
All right.
Ninkuu is 6,000 on Mal. That's crazy. Dude, that was some real deep shit. 6,000.
I thought you said Hell Teacher Nube was not done being subbed.
No, I didn't say that.
You did say it.
I believe.
No, she said she hadn't finished yet. Anyway, let's move on.
I didn't finish. Yes.
I know what you said. All right, Danny, what's your?
I don't remember what's not finished.
I like how Sam's number one is like, it's not finished.
No, because clearly my number one is Cat Shit 1.
You know what? You're right. I can't argue that.
All right,
it's number one in every list from now on.
Danny's trying to start.
Nabisco scale. It's like Nutter Butter, Oreo, Catch It 1.
All right, so Danny, this is where our waifu pick was from.
This
Go.
is waifu pick. Yeah. Mysterious Girlfriend X. This was actually recommended to me by a good friend, my good friend Derek, who's back in Jersey. Hey, Derek.
Shout out to Jersey.
Shout out to Derek. This was aired in 2012. Studio Hoods Entertainment produced it, and Sentai Filmworks did the dub for it. This show is about this 16-year-old boy named Akira Tsubaki. He's never had a girlfriend before. He doesn't know how girls work, so he just thinks that girls are a mystery. They're like foreign objects until he meets Urabe Mikoto, who she's pretty strange nonetheless, rather than a normal everyday high school girl. She's super quiet. She sleeps on her desk every day during lunch. She doesn't want any friends. And one day, Akira forgot something. He forgot his bento box on his desk, and he went to go get it. And Urabe was sleeping, so he woke her up. She left to go home, and some drool was on her desk. For some odd reason, he decided to take a taste of her drool.
This sounds like my show pitch.
This is, honestly, this is a show for Nick.
This is my Shark Tank right here. You guys were mad at me.
Well, it was already made, for crying out loud, so it can't be a Shark Tank pitch. But this is definitely a show for Nick, I feel.
Dude, the girl's pretty fucking hot, not gonna lie.
Urabe she got some knockers on her. Like, let me tell you.
I don't care about the knockers, I care about the glare.
Yeah.
Oh, that side glare that she has, yeah.
Oh, dude, she has the same haircut as Shin from Area 88.
Yeah.
The left eye open.
So for Akira, when he tasted her drool, it tasted very sweet, like honey. And what happened the next day, he like caught a fever, And
Oh, really?
yeah,
No shit.
so he was like sick for a while, and Urabe noticed like what happened, so she went to go see him. And when she went to his house and stuff, Urabe told Akira, close your eyes. So, and what she did was she like took some of her drool and stuck it in his mouth, and his fever was gone. So pretty much drool equals bond between man and woman. And every day Urabe has to give Akira her drool in order for him to survive and not get sick. And
Wow.
they form they form a relationship. You know, Akira asks Urabe to be his girlfriend, and she agrees. And it just goes along on pretty much Urabe giving him drool every time. And yeah, I don't know too much. I didn't finish it. I'm still in the process of watching it. This is definitely a Nick show. Just for the sole fact that it's about drool.
Yeah, but like Nick's show pitch was like he has to suck on her toes after she poops on it or something fucking dumb like that.
Yo, I stop at poop. All right, that's the line.
That's gross.
Right
I wouldn't even watch
That's the
that.
line.
No scat for me, please.
But yeah, it has some pretty funny moments because after a while, Akira, after dating Urabe for about a month, Akira talks to one of his friends and just like kind of doesn't like hint that he's dating Urabe. He just hints like, oh, so what should I do, you know, if I'm dating a girl for quite some time? And his friend is all like, well, you should be holding her hand and all this kind of stuff, hug her and everything. And when Urabe and Akira are walking home, Akira kind of like suddenly tries to hug Urabe, and she like does this ninja jump out of nowhere, takes her scissors out of her panties, and just like does these weird things with it. And Akira is in front of boxes, and so what happens is she like cuts the boxes like as a warning, and she's all like, don't like hug me or hold my hand without asking for permission. She's very private. And I wouldn't say, I guess a hypothesis, but I think Urabe is an alien of some sort. Like, she's definitely not from Earth. If she has very sweet drool, and it makes people have a fever if they don't have enough of it. So, I don't know. I have to keep watching it in order to find out.
So basically what you're saying is Senju Gahara is a ripoff of this whole anime.
Yeah. No, other way around, actually. Senju Gahara came first.
Did it really?
Yeah, she was in like 2009.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, get wrecked.
This one.
But that's a popular show. We're not talking about popular.
Yeah, this one is of the 600 popularity.
Oh, actually, this one's pretty popular. Yeah, 634. It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's before Detroit Metal City, I believe.
So we have a show that's not finished. We have a show about drool. And then we have a masterpiece asking
Not a masterpiece.
life questions. Can
Dude.
happiness be achieved without sacrifice?
Danny, you don't know, dude. You gotta watch Giant Robo.
Yeah,
I
Danny, here's the
can't.
thing.
I don't
Here's
know
the
if
thing
I
with
can.
Giant Robo.
I have a thing when it comes to giant robot shows.
Yeah, that one's a pretty giant robot show, isn't it?
It's like,
Yeah, it's so
Here's the
Giant
thing, Danny.
Robot that it's just called that. It's called Giant
just
Robot.
not.
Yeah,
it's
no.
not
Here's
my
the thing, though.
thing.
Here's the thing. It has a dub. I know people say the sub is better, and I kind of agree. The sub is better. But just watch the dub. You don't even have to listen to it. Just watch it.
That
Fuck it.
What? No.
Dude, you don't even have to
need to know
poop. Just
anything?
pee a little bit.
I don't have to poop.
You can put on the sub with no subtitles and still like enjoy it and give it a 10 out of 10. It's great.
Dude, a 10 out of 10. Hey, there's our top anime hidden gems.
Well, that was
Actually,
sudden. Jesus.
there was.
That was you're like, hey, it sounded like you edited that, but that was not edited.
I
That
thought you
was
were
just
like I thought you were like at a stopping point when you were talking, so I thought I'd just jump in. Sorry. No, like, obviously we had more to talk about. There's more on our lists that we could find.
Yeah. And I got a quick mention real quick. So if you want to know more about Giant Robo, there's a pretty cool podcast that I found from 2016. It's just one episode. It's from the Greatest Movie Ever podcast with Daryl Surratt from Anime World Order. And they go into like depth on Giant Robo. So if you want to get more information and more hype, then check that out.
Shout out. And obviously I didn't even mention this in the beginning, but Quokka is absent again today because he's still running around doing something. I don't know.
He's a little bitch.
But we could do this episode again with him, and I have more that I could talk about. But just remember that the top hidden gem of tonight is Cat Shit 1.
It's always Cat Shit 1. Yeah.
So that being said, do you have any hidden gems on your list that you think like, hey man, Sam and Nick and Danny should know about this? Not a lot of people know about it, but they should watch it. You should totally hit us up on Twitter or on Discord, wherever you can find us on links.animesummit.net, and show us your hidden gems. What do you think? What do you want to recommend to us that we didn't mention or that we don't know about? Or that you think we don't know about? Hit us up. That being said,
Don't call yourself a real anime fan until you've seen Inferno Cop.
Inferno Cop, dude.
I
Yeah,
tried
why
to
don't
do the
we-
clapping emoji right there, but
Dude, you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to say the word, then clap, then the next word, then clap. Not just constantly clap and then talk over it. Like you're legit Grandpa Nick. Like you don't know how to do the stuff.
I think it sounds fun. You're holding the clap next to my ear and just talking like that. It's great.
It's great. I've been Sam, Danny Ravioli, Nick
Well, it's Danny
Manicotti,
Lasagna today.
Danny Lasagna, and Nick Manicotti. We've been the Anime Summit Podcast. Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti?
Spaghetti.
From like
That's-
Tim and Eric.
That's an underrated show. Tim and Eric, awesome show. Great job.
Dude, I love the gif of him hiding behind the plant.